episode 15, in which we are going to chat about the great phone detox that we have committed ourselves to. And I have been wanting to do this, trying to figure out how to work it out for my life since last fall at least, and almost did it after Christmas and just couldn't wrap my head around it. And finally mentioned it a couple weeks ago to these guys, and it just seems to be coming together. It's meant to be right now. We're going to just jump in.
I thought we were starting a couple weeks ago, and I went home and started. And then after a day or two, I realized no one else is doing it.
You already have advice for us then. You can already tell us that.
It does, I don't know. For me, it does take time because so much of my life is wrapped up in that phone. I have to
extricate.
I have to figure out how to make all of the aspects of my life work without it, and to like how to shut down. Even like I really am not tech savvy, so I don't even know how to go into Facebook and dismount. I don't even know how.
That's probably the hardest one. Facebook intentionally makes it really hard for you to get out of there.
Are you deactivating, or are you just changing all your settings to be like barely there, so that you exist but barely? I
will exist.
But so you just
I will exist, but no one will see me. Right. I'm hoping that that's possible.
Well,
I virtually
you'll still be
on there for marketplace.
Is that what I'm doing now? I have no friends. No one follows me. Yeah. I don't post anything.
Yeah, basically, but you could still access Marketplace.
Yes,
and no one will be able to comment.
For now, I might not even stick around for that, but for now, I'm keeping it for Marketplace.
Because I truly like, and the reason that we're doing this is to figure out what we are wrong about in all of this. I truly don't believe that I am addicted to my phone. At the same time, I am heavily relying on my phone for virtually, 90% of my life, it seems, which, I can ignore the phone dinging and all these messages, and I can come back at 240 messages waiting for me and not care. Like, I'm not pulled to see it, but at the same time, I have to do everything with this screen in front of me, and I don't want my kids growing up thinking this is the normal way to adult. This is how we live our lives virtually. This is how we have
I think we're addicted to the quickness of it all. Like, I think we're addicted to the whole, well, I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to Google that. Like, I think we're addicted to that.
I never do that,
Ever. Always. We all do. We all do, right? Like, just to be snap, I can figure this out.
I've been practicing and not Googling things and telling myself it's okay to not know that answer right now.
Yeah, I discussed this with my husband the other night, and we just talked about like looking up recipes. I mentioned it to you. I have a cookbook problem. I really like them. I have a lot of beautiful cookbooks, and I Google a recipe. If I need a recipe, I want a quick recipe for something. I don't want to spend 10 minutes looking in my cookbooks for a tea biscuit recipe. I just Google that. So like Jeff was even saying, like, what is the point of all those books you have? Like, I want it quick. The dictionary, I want to know what the word means. I want to know it's quick answers, like Jen said. It's it's just there. Yeah. It's easy. It's fast.
And you can find a lot of good things coming from it. You can be very productive on your phone. Yeah. That's not up for discussion. It really, you can be very productive. The thing is that I have thought about since we've decided to do this is that I think we've been duped into believing that we are needed by other people, that it's our job to be, what is the word?
Accessible,
and available, that we are ministering to other people, and a lot of people would immediately say, well, I can't just step away from all of this because what about all of these people?
I said that about Facebook for years. I truly, that was
it even fulfills a sense of purpose or something, like we're getting something from that, I think.
It is true. Yeah. But what if we looked at it the opposite way, and what if none of this world existed, this virtual world that we have? What if it didn't exist and we were heavily involved in our own homes and our like face-to-face relationships, and all of a sudden somebody says, yeah, but you're supposed to be living like this. You're supposed to give up all of this time that you've been spending person to person and in your home. You're supposed to give that up so that you can spend 80% of your day on this device with other people that don't even live with you. Right. We would be appalled And like, if it was just, it came on so gradually that it didn't feel
I'm
wrong.
thinking that is exactly what happened, but it wasn't a point blank option.
It just snuck in.
Because what you described was our mom in 1985.
Right.
That was the way life was. And now slowly over time, and it was marketed as the convenience that we've been describing. Like, who doesn't want an all-in-one appliance that does everything?
Yeah.
Well, that's how the phone has been handed to us. It'll do everything, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
It will do everything.
It's been a distraction. Heavy distraction. And I know that we won't know how much of a distraction until we cut it off. It's like if thy foot offend thee, cut it off. If your eye offends you, gouge it out.
I feel like I do.
We're at that point that.
I feel like I do.
But not the details. Like,
I know. I feel like I do. Like I'm already mourning not mourning the loss of it. I'm already mourning what I gave up.
Yeah.
To have it. So I'm not saying I won't be surprised, but I feel like I already feel the gravity and the weight and
You're already realizing what you had missed before?
Immenseness of what this thing has taken from me and done to me.
It will be interesting. And I've been talking about it with my husband too, and chatting it out. How can this work? What will it look like? And we're constantly saying, yeah, but how can we take all of that we do on there and actually get what we need to done in 30 minutes a day? How is that even possible? So we started, just going through the list of things that we actually do on our phone during the day that are absolutely necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, I think 30 minutes is just fine.
I'm looking forward to finding out I don't actually need to do all those things.
Yeah,
and
it's like the
I
recipe
can feel
thing.
the stones flying out of my wagon.
I don't have to check the weather. They're usually wrong anyway.
I already feel relieved.
Yeah. So I will find out for sure. Well, maybe 30 minutes won't be quite enough, because that's my banking. That's any Christmas shopping that I want to get done through the year. And
I was thinking that, and because one of the other issues for me is online shopping. Yeah. It's just, I think since COVID too, it became the number one way over the past 2 years that I shopped. And now I shop and I decided last night that I needed a new laundry basket, and I went and bought it. It's just like, there you go. And it's a little too convenient. And sometimes maybe a bit of a problem, but I can also spend an easy 30 minutes looking at laundry baskets to find the one I want. So I can't do that anymore. I can't, I have to make sure that if I only have 30 minutes, it's going to drastically reduce.
I will be more focused and purposeful in what I'm doing and
you
how
have
much
to know
time I'm spending, and how important it is for it to have that kind of a handle instead of that kind of a handle. It's like, does it really matter? I only have 5 minutes left. Yeah. Just buy a basket.
Buy a basket.
But,
I've tried to do this. I've decided to do this countless times in the last year. And I've started, and it is hard, because this time we've been talking about it.
Yeah.
So I've been planning and already thinking about, well, how am I going to do that? Do I need to do that? And sort of weaning myself off of things already. But one of the things that sabotaged my other efforts was no one else seemed to be concerned about it. And I felt like, wow, I just need to do better with it.
Yeah.
It's clearly
so you must
not.
Have a problem.
It must be just me, and this is the way life is now. So I just have to be stronger and learn how to do it better. And so it's like telling an alcoholic, you just need to learn to be happy with one drink.
Yeah.
Right? And some of us just can't do that.
Yeah.
And these phones are designed, like they're designed to addict you. It's not. I want to even think like.
And it's not an addiction like I'm salivating in the living room because I can't go look at my phone. But
they know exactly what they're doing.
Like what Shannon was saying earlier, I feel like I need it to do everything from my banking to my recipes to checking in with my kids, right?
Yeah. Like Shannon made the comment earlier that she's fine, she can hear the dings and she's fine. I can't. Most people can't. When you hear that ding, it does something. Like, and that message is there. And, like, they know that. Like, that is part of the whole plan.
Yeah.
And I think the vast majority of people, like, that's great if you feel that way. I think a lot of people.
I'm still on my phone.
If you're
I
honest,
just do
though,
other things
when
and
you
ignore
hear that
those, but
ding,
it's still an issue.
Yeah.
So even if you're not addicted, even if you're on your phone doing everything, then there's all of the other evidence that I haven't researched fully, but I've seen references to the fact that these devices are actually changing the way our brains work.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
They are changing the we interact with people.
We have
They're
watched people
changing
dumb down.
life in
Like year by year
fundamental,
in shocking
important
ways.
ways.
Our attention spans, what it's done to...
People can't read books anymore. They literally can't even focus.
Yeah,
I'm one of them. That it made it harder. I remember a year and a half ago, that comment was made somewhere. That get off your phone, get off the screen for a few days and you'll be shocked at how much more you can comprehend as you read. Much easier.
Have you heard of the book 12 Ways Your Phone is Changing You?
You mentioned
by Tony,
from you.
I don't know how to say it, Reinke, Reinke. So in preparation for August 1st, I have that, it's been sitting in my Audible for probably a year. And like the title's enough, I thought. Just someone tells you your phone is changing you in 12 ways, and you can tell, like there's this, suspenseful, dark around the corners aura around the book. You know it's not good ways. I felt like that was enough. But anyway, not to help me decide to do this because I'm already all in, but to get me, just to give me that purpose to keep going when I know it gets hard. I'm going to read this book and and find out some things I didn't know about the extent of how the phone is affecting me. And I had a concussion in March 2020 that I really had a hard time coming around from, and I think I've only completely read 2 books. That's not like me. I'm a reader. So I've been blaming it on the concussion, and I'm sure that was it at the beginning, but I'm excited to see
if it makes it.
If maybe it's not the concussion anymore. Maybe it's the phone that's making it hard for me, or at least to recover as quickly as I should.
And that's
right?
the kind of thing that I was saying. Like I don't think we are going to realize until it's hindsight what this was affecting, and witnessing other people's addiction.
Yeah.
Is disturbing.
It looks
you
so
don't
much
realize,
uglier when someone else is doing it.
When you're watching someone else and you're thinking, oh my word, I don't want to be like that. It's like, what can we do to change how this is rolling? But we don't see ourselves for what our problems for what they are, which I know I'm one of those. So I'm very excited to see.
Yes, and me
what
too.
a loser I
As
am
soon as
with my phone.
As soon as it was decided, I already felt relieved, and I hadn't started yet. Like a huge weight was lifted off my back.
I cannot wait.
And it's not just for me. And I really feel like this is going to be the missing piece. And I feel like some things are going to be easy, and I'm going to be so excited to be free from some things, and some things I'm not looking forward to already because I know it's going to make me address some things I don't want to address. Yeah. But the biggest deal is my kids.
Yeah.
My kids, I know they think being an adult is getting to have a phone in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's getting to do it. Like when I was a kid, what did it mean to be an adult? I don't know what it meant. Probably to have a car,
have a home and kids.
Yeah.
Like that
go
wherever
you. But like the independence thing, like go wherever you want. Yes. Make your own rules, right? And I think for my kids, it's I get to have a phone.
Yeah.
And I don't want their life to be a little screen. I want them to live and experience fully.
More technical difficulties. Smartphones are supposed to be smart. Anyway, I don't know what we were saying.
Just about community.
Oh,
So we're just gonna have to learn to choose well.
Yeah.
Choose the best.
Yeah.
And we'll find out how much time we've been wasting on things that really don't matter.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to give up good things, really good things, to beat the addiction or the pull for lack, because you might not think you're addicted, the pull and the need to do stuff. I'm willing to drop important things in order to find out what the best thing is.
I think that this need is so seriously needed. This is what I was talking about with Marty, that I am perfectly willing to do it poorly and mess up some stuff and even put some community relationships in a precarious place for the sake of my home, children, my church community. Because especially reading through Acts, that was up front and center what church community actually is and what it looked like. And I reevaluated what we had always understood church to be, and it is so different than what we grew up with. So I'm willing to get messy and do it wrong for a little bit in order to work out doing
I feel like
it
that's
right.
been my motto for the last 3 or 4 years.
Get messy, do it wrong.
Doing it badly in order to get better or
Do
something.
you think you're doing it well now?
Right.
Honestly?
That's the thing.
Honestly,
Right.
do you really think?
I was thinking about sort of that this morning, only I was applying it differently. I was thinking about this particular challenge and relating it to the Bible challenge. Like, I am sure, and I've already told myself, even though I don't want to, I'm probably going to mess up. There are going to be days when I'm weaker than other days. This is good. This is new. It's going to be difficult, right? But it's the same principles, like with the Bible challenge or whatever. Like, you don't just give up because you missed a day.
Right.
You keep going. You pick up yourself. You pick yourself up, and you keep going the next day. You try again. You start over, and there's no shame. Right. There's no condemnation, or nobody's gonna wag their finger at you. This is for you, for me, whatever, right? And
there's a comforting accountability with it.
Yeah.
There is accountability,
Yeah.
and you are supposed to realize, man, I messed up.
Yes.
But that's why we're all in this together, realizing that we're all weak and we all need each other to keep
and we're here
plugging away.
Encourage each other and build each other up, right? Not this isn't like, you're not gonna earn righteousness by doing this.
No.
This isn't what it's for, right?
No.
Like,
and don't
It'll
make
wake
it
you up.
Don't make it works righteousness
exactly.
either.
That was my thought too.
We're all going to attempt this, and I hope we're all going to try to do it through Christ. And are we just feeling around in the dark by ourselves, trying to figure out what to do, or are we going to trust Christ and ask Him to show us what's important? How do you want me to use my phone? And are we going to trust Him for the things that we lose? So if I can't look up the definition for obfuscate, can I trust Him that it'll be okay? It's a silly example, but it could be something big that I feel like I need information or a connection that I feel like I really need. Am I going to trust Him to work it out?
That is such a good point. Pray, ask God how He wants.
We're not going to do this
right?
in our own strength. I will some days, but the whole point is for us to keep remembering that we're living for Christ. And if my phone is between me and doing that, then I have to ask Him, what do I do?
And if I'm doing it one way and you're doing it another way, my way's not right and your way's wrong, or vice versa. Like, if you're asking God how He wants you to use your phone, it's going to look differently.
The
for
wrong
everybody.
way is apart from Christ.
Exactly.
And the right way is yielded to Him.
We could end there. That's awesome.
And trusting Him to show me my next step.
I agree 100%. Yeah, don't feel bad if you don't do it the same as everybody else. Like, I've already set my parameters slightly differently than the ones Shannon posted for now, because I need to see how it's going to work with life and business and stuff, right? And that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's not sin just because you're not going to do it the exact same way we are. That's okay. The point is to ask God where you need to change. Do it with His
Don't be
strength.
afraid to sit down with Him.
Right.
And take a good hard look at the way you're doing
This
things.
is just a guideline and an idea and a thought, because we know we have a problem and we know other people do too, right? So, but it's between you and God. It's not.
I kind of go black and white, or to an extreme measure. It's like, you don't read a verse, you read a book.
Right.
You don't, like, if I potty trained children, we went hardcore. You never got a diaper again, even through the night, from that moment on. Like, that's just how I do things.
Right.
And you see results quickly when you do things that way. If, not the potty training thing. I know that some kids, I know
but
some
that's
kids
okay
don't
too.
do that. But I'm just my mentality, how I go about these things. So I'm like hardcore on this. I just, I see a problem, cut it off. Just do it. Where was I going with this? Oh, just that I think it's funny how we don't do fun things on necessarily easy or fun things with the whole conference thing in the Bible, like Bible challenge. It's hard.
Yeah.
We do hard things.
Yeah.
Are you willing to die to self, to be really uncomfortable and admit that this is an issue. Like, all you have to do is walk around uptown,
Yep.
and all you see is people, and it's heartbreaking to see mothers who are constantly facing phone. You are not training your children. They are out of control. You have no idea what's going on in their lives. Your home is not getting the attention that it needs. You are not spending time making good meals for your family. Very basic needs that God has obviously set up in Scripture for us to take care of. But we have set ourselves up to think that this thing that we hold up in front of us multiple times a day is somehow of greater importance than what He said in Scripture to do.
Yeah.
And
that's a big
it is
deal.
a problem.
Yeah.
So 99% of you are in an issue.
I think we can just say amen there. I'm like, okay.
Right? It's an extreme, but you are in an extreme place probably, that when you realize it for what it is.
An extreme issue in our culture
Yeah.
right now.
It's like people walking, I'm live in town, and people walking down the road, most of them are holding a phone in front of them while they walk.
And
even if there's two or three of
together,
them,
yes.
they all have phones out and are using them the whole time that they're walking down the street. Insecurity, that's the other thing I've realized. The insecurity of people has gone through the roof. So many people are so insecure now. They don't even know how to stand at a bus stop and wait for a bus because they have to do something. They have to hold the phone up, or they just look awkward and uncomfortable. Like, it's an issue.
Yes, that was my comment this morning.
Yeah.
When Shannon put this on the Bible chat, our little chat thingy that we have, and different people were responding. They want to do it too. Great idea. I'm just going to tweak it, whatever. And being honest, because the other day I was like, what is my emotion? What is this emotion that I have that's bothering me? It's insecurity.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure why, but that's if I'm being honest, I'm feeling very insecure about this. So I'm asking
your
God to
blanket,
show me
someone's
why.
trying to take your blanket.
Maybe.
out of your hand.
That may be it, right?
That's what I was thinking. It's our precious.
Yeah.
And no, but that's when I was talking about we don't realize what our addiction looks like. Gollum didn't care what he looked like.
Yeah.
And he just thought
Good point.
he had what was important, and he would just sit there and stroke his precious.
Yeah.
But he was nasty.
When
Like,
I first
that was
got an iPad,
disgusting.
my kids called it my precious, and that should have been my first wake up
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
And then a few
Take
years
it away
ago,
when you're insecure.
I saw this really cool family picture idea where everybody was posed with like their favorite thing. So someone was reading their favorite book, and someone was holding their trumpet, and like the thing that they just anyway. And someone said, "Yeah, Mom could have her iPad."
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Well, nowadays, that would be every person in the family would be holding their
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been an ongoing battle for me, and I am so excited to finally.
This all
Because I
started,
honestly I have tried so many times, and I felt like I was the only one.
No,
I
it
felt
was
like
a
I was the
couple
only
years
one
ago.
that had a problem, and
Because
I
it was
just needed to
before
buck
COVID.
up.
I know it was before COVID that the initial thought that there is a problem, this is not healthy, was when Marty and I were having an extreme argument. I don't even remember what it was about, but we were standing there in the room, and we don't yell or get up, like it's nothing like that, but we strongly disagree sometimes. And we're both standing there in the middle of the room holding our phones in our own home. Why do we need to hold our phone in our home? And I remember that clicking, like, what is wrong with us? We look like idiots. Because, like, the wall phone, we would never walk around holding our wall phone 25 years ago.
But 25 years ago, when that wall phone
wasn't
rang,
even-
me and my
I'm thinking
sister
it wasn't
ran
even
to answer it.
Long ago. I mean, the girls are 15. I remember when being pregnant with them and answering the phone on the wall. Like, it wasn't even that long.
I still have a landline, guys.
Yeah.
People
Me
still call me on
me
my
too,
phone.
and I didn't have a cell phone until I think 2
Me too.
years ago.
Well, I've had one, but
I resisted
I
and
resisted for a
resisted
long
and
time, too.
resisted, and this is why I resisted, because I knew I would end up here.
Yeah. I resisted it for a long time too. Not to say I didn't have a problem with my iPad, because I did, but I resisted the phone for a very long time. I've had it a little longer than
And
you.
all those reasons have multiplied exponentially
Yeah.
in those 2 years. Just think about even 2 years ago, what we have available now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so I knew I'd have a problem back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I've worked through quite a lot of addictive things on the phone, like I was saying earlier, or on my iPad
a lot
or
of
whatever.
changes have
A
been
lot
made.
of changes because I've known for a long time I've had a problem. But so actually, Bible reading was the big kicker, like 5-6 years ago for me. That was bringing to light a lot of my issues and convicting me. And yeah, not that I have it all solved, but I definitely still have farther to go.
Yeah.
There's still
I am so excited.
like I need to lose that need to pick it up and look at it.
Yeah.
Because I don't even do anything half the
I
times
hope
that
that
I pick it
I
up per
know.
day. I just
know
look.
exactly what
I
you
hope that
mean.
after a week or two of this, I'll be able to walk downstairs and remember what I went for.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It'll
I'm
be worth
excited
it
with
for
the
that.
thought of the books that I can go through.
Yeah.
Like so, I used to read so much,
Yeah.
and now I'm looking up. I look up a lot of recipes and stuff on Pinterest. I do, and they're great.
I don't really use,
good recipes.
I don't really use
but
Pinterest. I don't really look up a lot of recipes. I like my tried and trues.
Yeah.
So I don't have to defeat that, but there's lots I do have to defeat. Yeah.
And it's not even a defeating. I have a half hour.
Yeah, you
I
can
can
do
look
it. You
up
just have
my
to-
recipes and print
that's
them
the
off
thing.
immediately, and it's fine.
Yeah. I think
But you're
I'm
going to
gonna-
have to think a lot more.
Yeah.
Half hour can go
Exactly.
quick.
Prepare.
and
on
keeping
the
a
phone.
lot of
Yeah.
lists. I think keeping a lot of lists. And if you end up, if you're keeping a list throughout the day of things you want to look up for when you're having your phone, like your time that you need to look things up, and you have a list that's like really, really long, you're going to start picking priorities off that list and say, I don't have
Absolutely.
time for that. So, okay, this,
What's most
right?
important, we start
Yeah.
there.
If you're going to stick to your time limit, then. So I think over time that's going to change our thinking about what we even end up writing on our
That
lists
is
maybe.
true.
And it's just gonna, what I said earlier, I know that there's things I think I have to do that I don't.
Yeah.
And I've been telling everybody lately, I feel I'm worn out, and the Bilbo quote, I feel like butter stretched over too much bread.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm going in too many directions.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to find out what I don't need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I not need to do?
I mean, we don't watch anything, like maybe, but I have very strong doctrinal opinions about that anyway. But
Doctrine and Pancakes, let's
we
go.
don't even do once a week
Yeah.
watching stuff, but it's also because I don't have time. So I'm looking forward, I'm counting on having some time now in the evenings to say, well, I can't wait to decide.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Play a game, read a book?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everyone will have different things
It'll be
that
different for
open
everybody.
up
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, we don't watch things. We do read in the evenings.
If I don't feel
Just
like I
read
have
it,
time to
so-
even read, so I'm hoping that
But it's different
if I'm
things,
not
right?
distracted, if I'm focused and diligent, that I'll get so much more done in so much less time, that I will be able to sit down in the evening and say, let's do something.
It makes me wonder, is that a thing? Like, can just being off of our phones do all that? That's a big change.
We'll see.
Really?
We'll see.
Because, I mean, when I think of, like, busyness, true busyness, like, the last few days have been out of my house, groceries, this, that, the other thing, just going, whatever, right? It had nothing to do with my phone. I was just busy. Like, I had lots that I needed
I've
to
done
get
some
done.
test runs, and I can tell you 100% absolutely it does.
Like,
It
what,
will.
I'm trying to conceive that.
We're just
So
mentally.
that's why we're
It's
doing
going to
it.
be
Right?
very
Yeah,
interesting
Yeah,
at the end of this.
I think
Yeah,
we're
I
just
can't wait
mentally
to see.
None
so
of my
much more.
things had to do with
But-
my phone.
But we're so much more distracted than we even think. So your time at home will be so much more efficient and concentrated.
You will never have to grocery shop again.
Wouldn't that be great?
Of course, there's going to be busy times and busy days.
Sure.
But I just think our time at home is going to be so much more effective.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
That when we come to those busy times, we're not going to be already strung out.
Okay.
It'll be intense for a little while, and then I just think we'll be able to keep up with things
No, I hope you're
so
right.
much better.
Sounds good.
I'm really looking forward to conference to the end of this when we can actually really talk about
Yes, we
Yeah.
are planning to
See.
share some findings at conference at the 2-month mark. Almost. It'll be
Almost
just shy
2
of
months, yeah.
2 months.
and see what everyone actually
Yeah.
See if we
to
had
say.
set too high of expectations
or
too
they
low.
yeah, it'll be really
See.
interesting.
And
to
I think
see
it'll be
what
a little
happens.
bit different for everybody too. So
Yeah.
it'll be neat to
Oh,
hear
yeah,
the
that's-
perspectives.
yeah.
And...
I'm going to be thinner. I just know.
wow.
I hope that worked out.
That's what I hope everything will do.
I'm on board with that.
Oh, that was great.
At the same
It's
time,
magic.
It- I
don't you
might.
think that's a
I
possibility?
do. I'm so excited.
You know what's funny to me right now? I'm usually the optimist, and I'm like, wah, wah. I don't
You
know.
know-
You guys are like, I'm gonna be thinner
You know
and
what?
healthier.
Under control.
Exactly. That's why I think it's a possibility,
It's
because if you're a
self-control.
self-controlled person, don't you think you're
It
self-controlled in
affects
every area?
Absolutely.
You can't be self-controlled in everything and be a glutton and say I have self-control.
Right.
That's not self-control.
Which was that thought was introduced a number of years ago. You were reading an article by some guy, I think he was in the Christian music industry, who had been addicted to porn, and he was overweight, and I forget all of the other things, and he overcame his addiction to porn, and suddenly, without him even realizing it, the pounds started falling off,
Yes.
because he realized the self-control was affecting every single area of his life, which meant that it was the Lord working, and it wasn't just his own efforts to
That's
make
why I think
that
we're going to
happen.
see this is going to affect so much more than we think.
For sure.
I really do.
It's time.
Yeah,
It's time.
bring it.
Yeah.
Let's do this thing.
Change.
Change just like that. Yeah. So
All right.
yeah, hopefully other people will want to do it too, and
Yeah, get a community
Be a
behind you, do
yeah.
it together so it's easier to
Yeah.
hold each other accountable,
Yeah.
and you can be excited together and talk about what's changing and positive effects. I really can't imagine there being negative effects,
No.
but we'll see.
yeah, unless we do it wrong,
A lot.
a lot wrong.
And what's wrong?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not doing it in
We
Christ.
already said.
Not doing it.
Not doing it with Christ.
I thought you meant a specific thing. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll check back
Doing
with
it
you.
in your own strength is wrong.
Yeah.
That you will make
Yeah.
bad choices,
Yeah.
or you'll just fail.
So if you are in the area, if you're in Nova Scotia area, you can join us at conference September 23rd and 24th, where it's our goal to just encourage the local ladies at our church and whoever else wants to come in, our Christian walk.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking
Awesome.
a little bit about the phone challenge, so.
Among other things, but yeah.
And lots of other things.
Yes.
Yeah, it will be uncomfortable, but comfortingly uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Comfortingly uncomfortable. Okay, I'll remember that one.
Yeah, it's both.
It's both. Always.
It's both.